Everyone told me I was crazy. You can't live in Malaysia without a car. The public transport is terrible. You'll be stranded. The heat will kill you. I spent 60 days testing that theory across 4 Malaysian cities. I tracked every ringgit, timed every journey, and experienced every frustration. And what I discovered completely changed how I think about getting around Southeast Asia. What I learned was exactly what the locals warned me about, but some of it was the opposite. Let me start with Kuala Lumpur because this is where I expected to fail. Malaysia is famously a car country. There are literally 95 registered vehicles for every 100 people. The highway system is world-class. And historically, public transport was an afterthought. But here's what's changed. KL now has a genuinely impressive rail network. The LRT, the MRT, the monorail, and the KTM commuter lines. The MRT Putrajaya line opened in 2023 and suddenly connected areas that were car-dependent for decades. The whole system runs under Rapid KL management, and it all uses the same touch-and-go card. For 30 days in KL, I spent a total of 580 ringgit on transportation. That breaks down to about 19 ringgit per day, or roughly $4.20 USD. Here's the breakdown. 320 ringgit on Grab rides, 180 ringgit on trains and buses, and 80 ringgit on the occasional taxi when Grab wasn't available. The My50 pass, which gives you unlimited rides on all Rapid KL services for 50 ringgit per month, is incredible value. But here's the catch. It's only available to Malaysian citizens and permanent residents. Tourists can get the My City Pass, which offers 1-day or 3-day unlimited rides on Rapid KL, but it works out more expensive for long stays. Let's talk about Grab because it's essentially Malaysia's transportation backbone. In KL, Grab works almost flawlessly. Rides are cheap. A 15-minute trip typically costs 10 to 15 ringgit. Drivers arrive within 5 to 10 minutes. The designated pickup points at malls and airports actually work. From KLIA to KL City Center, expect to pay around 120 ringgit by Grab, which is significantly cheaper than the official airport limo service. But here's a tip. The Grab pickup at KLIA is across the road from arrivals, up a ramp toward the multi-story car park. It's not intuitive, but they have good signage if you look for it. One important thing about ride-hailing in Malaysia. Bolt launched here in late 2024. They received their license in August and are trying to compete with Grab in the Klang Valley. Early reviews mention some growing pains with driver availability and app glitches, but more competition usually means better prices. Georgetown in Penang is where my Carless experiment hit its first major obstacle. The island technically has the Rapid Penang bus network, and you can even get a weekly Penang tourist pass for 30 ringgit. But the reality on the ground is different. Buses don't always run to schedule. I waited 40 minutes for one that was supposed to come every 20 minutes. The routes connect the major areas, but getting from point A to point B often requires multiple changes and significant waiting time. And here's the Grab problem in Penang. Between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., you can wait and wait and wait with no driver accepting your ride. Same thing from the airport after 9 p.m. Multiple travelers have reported this. The driver pool is just smaller than in KL, and surge pricing during peak hours can double or triple your fare. For Georgetown specifically, a bicycle or electric scooter rental might actually be your best option. The UNESCO Heritage Zone is compact and relatively flat. Hotels and shops rent bikes for 20 to 30 ringgit per day. Langkawi completely broke my Carless streak. I'll be honest about that. The island has essentially no public transport. Grab exists, but with very limited drivers. And the attractions are spread across an island that's 478 square kilometers. I ended up renting a scooter for 35 ringgit per day, which was the only practical option. Car rental runs about 100 to 150 ringgit per day. If you're not comfortable on a scooter, you're looking at either very expensive private tours or being stuck at your resort. Same story in the Perhentian Islands, Tioman, and most beach destinations. These places were never designed for public transport. They're destination resorts where you either stay put or arrange transport through your hotel. Now here's where Malaysia actually impressed me. Intercity travel without a car is not just possible, it's often preferable. The ETS train from KL to Penang takes about 4 hours, costs around 70 ringgit for business class, and drops you right in Butterworth, where a ferry takes you to Georgetown. Compare that to a 5-hour drive through traffic with tolls and fuel costing about the same. The bus network is extensive. EasyBook and Bus Online Ticket let you compare and book routes to almost anywhere. KL to Melaka takes 2 hours for under 20 ringgit. KL to Cameron Highlands is about 4 hours. KL to Johor Bahru for Singapore connections is under 5 hours. Pro tip: book train tickets on the official KTMB website. The ETS sells out on weekends and holidays, sometimes weeks in advance. After 60 days, here's my verdict. In Kuala Lumpur, you absolutely can live comfortably without a car if you choose your neighborhood wisely. Live near an MRT or LRT station in areas like Bangsar, KLCC, or Mont Kiara, and you'll rarely need Grab except for convenience. In Penang, it's possible but frustrating. You'll manage in Georgetown but feel limited if you want to explore the island. Budget for more Grab rides than you expect. In smaller cities like Malacca and Ipoh, it's actually fine. These places are compact. Walking plus occasional Grab covers everything. On islands and resort areas, forget it. Rent a vehicle or accept that your hotel is your world. The surprising part? I saved about 2,000 ringgit over 60 days compared to what car rental, fuel, tolls, and parking would have cost. That's roughly $450. And I never once dealt with KL traffic, which regularly adds an hour to a 20-minute drive. If you're planning to go Carless in Malaysia, here's what I'd do differently. First, get a touch-and-go card immediately. You can buy them at convenience stores and use them for trains, buses, some taxis, and toll-free payments. Second, download Grab before you arrive and link a payment method. Sometimes foreign cards have issues, so have a backup. Third, plan your accommodation around transport hubs. Within a 10-minute walk of an MRT station in KL, your life is easy. A 30-minute walk away, and you're dependent on Grab. Fourth, be flexible with timing. Early morning Grab rides can be hard to get anywhere. Train schedules don't run 24/7. Build buffer time into your plans. The headline: Malaysia without a car is harder than Singapore, easier than Thailand, and entirely doable if you're strategic. It's not for everyone, but if you prefer not to drive in a foreign country, you can make it work. Next up, I'm breaking down the SIM card trap that catches every tourist at Malaysian airports.